Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome in, my Jets brothers and sisters. So happy to have you guys here. Excited, like always, for you to tune in to the Take Flight Spit and Fire podcast. Shout out to my boy Donnie. He's ready. He's ready to go. Why wouldn't you be? The Jets have an amazing amount of picks this year. I mean, we got 2 first rounders this year, 2 first rounders next year. I believe like 12 something picks in this whole draft altogether. 2/3. I'm ready. I'm excited. So again, shout out to my boy Donnie. Appreciate you being here, my brother. Yeah, I'm with you, my man. Donnie says it. I mean, he just wants the draft to get here already. We're getting there. We're close. I mean, right now we're sitting, at April 12th. So it's only 17 days away. It's getting here. What's interesting, though, and you're going to notice as draft day comes closer, you're going to see mainly the big people's boards change a little bit. Some prospects that were considered, maybe second, third, possibly fourth rounders start to move up a little bit in some people's minds. Some people may be falling down. There'll be a little bit of interesting leeway, so that's something interesting we could look at. So I told you guys, that we're going to obviously be doing a live mock, but also that to start out, if you wanted, we're going to do a Jets mailbag. So I gave you guys a bunch of chances on Twitter. You guys liked it, which is awesome. Totally love the likes, but no one really had any questions. So my question for you guys is, do you have any questions? So before we get started, you guys that are here, do you have anything you want to ask? Again, we'll treat it like a Jets mailbag. We can do this. Remember, you can always interact, ask questions through the chat feature, anything you want to ask about certain situational positioning, a prospect you like. But it seemed like everyone was liking it and not really asking questions. So it looks like you guys are ready to draft. So like Donnie said, let's go. He said it. Let's do it. Let's go. Okay, so let me share my screen. Let's get into it. I am excited, guys. And again, why not to be excited? Here we go. Boom. And there we are. So again, why not to be excited? Because we're sitting pretty right now as the Jets. Second overall pick in this draft, 23rd pick. I have an interesting one I actually want to run by you guys, and you can tell me, shout out to Big Vince. He's in here right now. You guys can let me know what you think. So as we know, Vera Tucker, AVT, has been considered, one of the top guard in this draft. I've argued, he could even play tackle because he has a much larger wingspan and flawless technique, but he's considered one of the best guards in this draft. I would be shocked if he ever makes it out of the top 15, to be honest. I mean, he is that talented. And we have to remember that earlier in the season, Wyatt Davis was in that conversation. Don't forget that he was considered up there with AVT, as, the best guard in this draft. But with injury now, it's been AVT. But I've seen some mocks recently where he doesn't fall, where actually he falls so far, he could fall to us. And I didn't think that was possible. I really didn't. I figured there was no chance he's going to be on the board. I mean, it would make sense. Guys like Brandon Scherf, the best guard in that draft, went 5th overall. I take that back because I wanted him at 6. The draft we got Leonard Williams. My guy was Brandon Scherf. And as you guys know, he's been one of the best guards in football, period. He was my guy. I wanted him at 6. But the Washington football team at the time, the Redskins, took him 1 pick earlier. So if AVT's there at 23, you guys know how I feel about Creed. I love Creed, that he's my guy, that I convinced myself you have to take him at 23. You guys know the whole argument. We've been through it. But if AVT's on the board, here's what I'm thinking. I thought about this a little bit today, and I was like, okay, well, wouldn't it be amazing if we could get both of them, if we could land them both? And this is what I was thinking, and I looked it up, and it's actually doable. And I don't think it's a bad trade. So you guys can tell me what you think. So AVT's on the board, you take him. You take him at 23. Now, if you take the 34th pick, the 87th pick, and the 187th pick, I want to make sure I got those numbers right. Hold on. Yes, the 87th and the 187th, those 3 picks, you can move up to the 24th. I actually crunched it for a while, and actually that's a better trade for the Steelers. So actually they're winding up, I think it's about a 5 points or so better in that trade. So we get to move up to 24. We take Creed. Some people say he could be there at 34, but, why risk it? So think about the trade, the picks I just mentioned, though. So 34 to 24, 34 doesn't matter, wash that. But the other 2 picks you're giving away is the 87th, and we have 2 third-rounders in this draft. We have 2 third-round picks. And then the other is the 187th, and we have 2 fifth-round picks. So we have 2 thirds, 2 fifths. If we send away a 3rd and a 5th, you think about, who you get with those kind of picks. Last year, we got Ashton Davis, which is good. We got Jabari Zuniga. We don't know yet. In the 5th round, Joe Douglas hit a freaking home run. Joe Douglas took that ball and sent it out of the park because he got Bryce Hall. That was amazing. But after that gets Bryce Mann. Before that, LaMichael Perrine. There's no guarantees. You need offensive linemen. We know that. That's why you guys know I wanted to go, Creed at 23, because as you guys remember the whole argument, I'll have to get into it. And then Wyatt Davis at 34. But again, what if you could take AVT at 23 because he happens to be there, which I don't think it's going to happen. I think teams are going to look at that and it's not going to happen. But let's say it is. Then you take the 34th, the 87th, which is one of your 2/3. It's the later one, still the 66th. And then the 187th, which is your 5th round, but again, still the earlier one. So you're only giving up a 3rd and a 5th to move up and get Creed. So that's what I'm starting to think is like an amazing scenario. You guys can tell me what you think. If you think I'm insane, please tell me. Tell me, that's crazy. That's can't happen. That's nuts. But that's what I'm thinking. If AVT's still on the board there at 23, then we can't, wait and risk. Remember all the arguments we made that we can't risk. Donnie makes a good argument. Donnie does make a good argument, not wanting to trade up too many holes. I get that. And as you guys know with me, I'm never a trade up guy. I hate the idea of trading up. In fact, in the draft we're about to have, I'm going to convince you probably, or try to convince you, hopefully, maybe around the 4th, 5th, 6th round to possibly trade back once or twice. Because it's always good to get later round picks. It's always good to accumulate more because you never know, especially in those later rounds, who's going to pan out. But think of who we're talking about here. We're talking about Alahia Vera-Tucker, easily, the best guard, top of the league. Everyone knows everything about him. And also Creed. I feel if you take AVT at 23, you can cross your fingers and pray and hope that Creed's there at 34. But you guys know we've talked about this. We've made all the arguments. We've discussed it, that originally people had him later on. He nailed the Pro Bowl. His Pro Day. You guys know all of that. So he's now possibly going to be that pick. So do you risk waiting there at 34 or do you try to trade up? Now, the way I look at it, again, the trade up is a 3rd, which, okay, but you still have 1 and a 5th. So just an option, to consider. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but let's see if, AVT winds up still being on the board. I mean, crazier things have happened. So let's see how this baby pans out. So obviously we're going to be the Jets. We're doing 7 rounds. We'll go at normal speed. Let's get this puppy going. If it's anyone other than Trevor Lawrence, we close it because that's just how it works. If it's not Trevor, we know it's broken. Okay, so we're on the board now at 2. I'll spare you. You guys know how I feel. You guys know I've been talking about Zach Wilson forever, for all these months dating back. I want to go Zach at 2. That's what I want to do. What do you guys think? You guys want to chime in? Do you want to do something different here? If you want to do something different other than Zach, now be the time to say it. We got Donnie, we got Vince, we got Bam. You guys feeling differently? Or I guess not, which is good. Oh, Zach Attack. I'm with you, Vin. Same thing. Zach Attack. So you guys know how I felt. I've been on Zach for as long as I can remember. Okay, Bam says Fields. You guys know how okay, Gary comes in with Zach, so we got 2 for Zach, 1 for Fields. You guys know how I feel about Fields. I mean, I want to point out, if you haven't seen it, please check out the article I just wrote. It's the pinned article on my Twitter. I think it's the most important thing right now that we need to get behind whoever our quarterback is. Even if it's someone, if you wanted Fields and we get Wilson, or we wanted Wilson and we get Fields. We got rid of Sam. We got rid of the controversy. We need to be behind the guy. So the joke I made on the Weapons Hot podcast I host on Friday was, if we take Justin Fields, I'm going to have to go back to the film and find some stuff I like. That's just what I'm going to have to do. And I'm going to find the positives because that's going to be our guy. So, okay, it seems like the majority of guys are for Zach. I'm with you guys. Zach is, like Donnie says, easy choice. I mean, again, I know some people like Fields, but if you haven't, please check out my first podcast. I get into the whole background of, people always say why someone's a system quarterback. But I get into the actual system. Basically, I try to find the predictability factor. And I thought it was pretty easy, unfortunately, to find in Ohio State. It was harder to find in Alabama. I'll give them that. But we don't get into that right now. So I'm with you guys with Zach. Seems like that to be the consensus. So we will take Zach. And what's interesting is let's see how Vera-Tucker goes. Let's see. So I just want to pause it there for a second quick because I just want to throw out. So as you guys see, Trey Lance, I pointed that out for a while. I think as you guys know, I love Lance as well. I love all the things he has, but the question mark to me is the D2 and the durability. Same things I had with Wentz. So I can't take him over Wilson, but he fits the system perfect. I love him for the system. I think he really is going to succeed. He's always been QB3 on my board. Fields at 4. I definitely think Lance is going to the Niners. I agree with PFN on this one. Now, what's beautiful with Atlanta, and I've pointed this out to, I think, some of you guys in the past, Atlanta's like the most beautiful wild card right now because they could do absolutely anything. Atlanta could choose, hey, Matt Ryan has a couple of good years left. We're going to build a team around him. He's got Julio Jones still. Let's make this right. So they could take like they did. They could go Jamar Chase. They could go Kyle Pitts. They could decide they want a generational left tackle and go Penei Sewell, or they could decide they want to trade back and accumulate more picks. I know people said there were the Patriots and other teams talking to the Falcons. Maybe, they want to trade back to get more picks to build around Ryan, or maybe they decide this is the year to get his replacement. And they would take Fields, which is how I think it would go. I think it would be, again, Lawrence first, Wilson to us, Trey Lance third. Again, I told you guys just why. And if 4 of the Falcons do go quarterback, it'll be Fields. Or if someone trades up for a quarterback, it'll be Fields because he's still on the board. So that's an interesting wild card right now. They went Jamar Chase. But again, like I said, they can go any way. So they're going to be a really interesting one to watch on draft day to see what the hell they choose to do. Okay, so that shocks me. I would have thought, 5, I was talking about generational left tackle. I like Rashawn Slater, but you guys know I've been talking about Sewell. If we were sticking with Sam and building, there's a great argument for Sewell because Sewell is a generational left tackle. That's why even though he's not the same as Joe Thomas, I compared him to Joe Thomas. Because again, to think that mentality of you're getting a guy that's going to be your outstanding staple all-pro guy for the next decade. Easy. They chose to go Rashawn Slater, which is interesting. Lions took Fields. That's fantastic because as you guys know, I'm not a big Goff fan at all. You guys have heard me say it. Remember that Wentz, Goff, Paxton Lynch draft? I was saying the whole draft class was crap. I thought Dak Prescott was the best quarterback in that draft. I didn't get what the hell was going on. You guys know who we took. I'm not going to say his name. I don't want to get into it. I wish we could have took Dak, but that's here nor there. But anyway, that if they're taking Justin Fields, they are sending a message that they don't believe in Jared Goff. So that's interesting. Let's see who the Carolina Panthers take to put with Sam Darnold. Pennant, excellent. If we can make a shout out here to our guy Sam, please. You guys know, again, Sam didn't work out here. We talked about this. I've talked about this. He's a young kid. There's all the arguments for him and all the arguments against him. Yes, he's been statistically the worst. A lot of it's on him. But yes, he hasn't had any help and he hasn't been in the right system. This is his best chance. Again, I'm just summing it all up because I've talked to you guys about it. Check out my former podcast. I did those, with being with Matt Rule, who was originally going to come here, being back with Robbie Anderson. If you're doing it, this is doing it right. I love it. I hope this happens. I hope the Carolina Panthers have the option to draft Penei Sewell and get Sam Darnold his Mekhi Becton. That's what I want. That will give Sam Darnold his Mekhi, and I love it. Love it. So I pray that happens on draft day. Carolina, get Sewell. Now let's keep going. Surtain, Kyle Pitts to the Giants. That's a big one. Aziz Ansari, Mac Jones, Owusu Kamara's off the board, and J.C. Horn. So you guys know, just throwing out quick, those are my 2 guys. And again, it's up to you guys. You guys pick. That's the beauty of the collaborative draft. I'll give you my 2 cents, but you guys choose it. So I want to always go Creed Humphrey, which is why it's interesting to see if he can go in these next couple of picks. But Vera Tucker's now off the board. Wanted to point that out. The Dolphins took Vera Tucker. But here's the thing, though. He made it all the way to 18. That's a lot lower than I thought. I honestly figured he would be, he could be like Brandon Scherf. He could go anywhere from 5 to 10, 15. That's what I honestly felt. But if he falls to 18, he could fall to 23 on actual draft day. Because, again, teams make trades. So if that happens, I think it'd be interesting to try and get him in Creed. That's all I'm saying. I would go insane. My other 2 picks at this one were Owusu Kamara and Horn. So if I was going to go somebody other than offensive linemen, my talent level was going to be a Horn or a Owusu Kamara. That was always my logic with it. But let's see. So we got Bateman, Christian Barrymore. Now we do have 2 picks on. We do have 2 trades on the board, and I'm gonna bring that up to you guys. So we got 2 trades. This is the 23rd pick. So the 46th, you're going into the next round. Sorry, you're literally like you're dropping pretty far. It's basically double what you had. That one's not the worst. That's not the worst trade. You're dropping about 5 spots, which again, it depends who's on the board here. We can take a look if you guys want. But I'm giving away my 7th and getting back in 98. And it's the next year's 7th. So this actually isn't a horrible trade because it's next year's 7th. I'm only dropping 5 spots and I'm getting the 98th pick is how you should look at it. So the Saints trade isn't bad. They're doing some interesting metrics here. Kudos to PFN. Usually PFN trades aren't this intrinsic. So kudos to PFN. So now this one's a little more, again, calculative. You're dropping 3 picks. You're giving this year's later pick, but you're getting back the 89th, which is a higher pick. That is, again, kudos to PFN. Those are 2 fascinating trades. So again, you're dropping 3 picks with the Browns, and you're losing this year's late 226th, but you're getting 89. In the other one, you're dropping more spots. You're dropping 5, but you're getting the 98th pick because you're giving less up. I actually would say I would like this one if it were up to me. Again, the Browns one, because we honestly are only dropping 3 spots, and they're basically swapping the 226 for the 89. So that's not bad. The nice thing about this one, it's an extra pick in this draft. What do you guys think? Okay, cool. So you guys are with Vin, Browns. Yep, he's in. Bam, Browns trade. Okay, cool. Gary says he'd take the Saints trade. It's not a bad one. Again, Gary, it's not a bad one at all. I like this. Again, I'm intrigued because usually PFN trades are this. And we look at them and we're like, oh, okay, that sucks. Moving on. But these 2 are pretty good. So again, the logic behind it would be you're dropping 5 spots. The later pick is next year's. So you keep an extra one this year. You get the 98th. But in the other one, you get the 89th, which is a pretty decent higher pick. The 89th, there could be some decent talent there. So I'm with you guys. I'm thinking the Browns trade. We're only dropping 3 spots. So again, if we want to get somebody like Creed, we're dropping to 26 as opposed to 28. My fear, and I'm just going to throw it out there, is that the kicker fan's happy. Well, Gary, again, you don't always need to use 226. You could use the higher pick. Again, if it turns out to be a great kicker. Like, let's say you take Borogalis, and Borogalis, turns into the next, Gaskowski, or, somebody awesome, or Vinatieri or somebody. Then if it was like, 180 something, it's not bad. So you can always use that on a kicker. Definitely use that on a kicker. Not bad at all. But the only thing I'm going to throw out here is there's a chance the Steelers could take Humphrey. Because, again, the Steelers need a center. The Steelers could definitely use an elite center. The Jaguars might take him. The Steelers could. So let's do it. But I'm thinking right now the Steelers could take him. It's very possible. Okay, no, they took Cosme. Okay, so I was right. They did go offensive line. So I did figure they would go offensive line. So, okay, this is an interesting one. So this obviously, and this is the beauty of this kind of stuff, we know the Ravens have somebody in mind. The Baltimore Ravens have somebody in mind right now because they only want to swap 1 pick. They're afraid we might take them, and it's the 104th. The Ravens could use a center. I mean, technically, again, you guys know how I feel about Creed. Creed's the next Nick Mangold. He's a cerebral center that is a second quarterback on the field that reads defenses and alignments and shifts. Not many teams have a center like that. So in argument, anybody could take a Creed Humphrey and shift their center to guard. Like anybody could do it. So this, we're dropping 1 pick. This one, in my opinion, is too much. We're dropping literally from 26 to 55. So that's a big drop, in my opinion. I wouldn't do that one. And this one, same thing. I mean, you're getting next year's pick, but you're dropping 20 spots. So if we were going to do one, I would do the first one because we're just dropping 1 spot. We're getting the 104th pick in return, but who does Baltimore want? So what do you guys think? Baltimore or not Baltimore? So that's the question right now. It's like I think it's Hamlet, but I don't know. I'm not a literature guy. It's like to Baltimore or not to Baltimore. That is the question. So what do you guys think? Would you want to trade with Baltimore right now? Or would you want to... So before we trade for Baltimore, we could look at for who's on the board. So Humphrey's still here. Humphrey's at 28. So that might be the guy they're looking for. Because, again, that's about where I would have Humphrey, give or take. So Humphrey's at 28. We could look at, let's see, Caleb Farley's still on the board. That's an excellent pick. can look at some of the wide receivers. Terrace Marshall, I would go wide receiver later. I wouldn't go wide receiver early, but Terrace Marshall isn't a bad pick. Pat Fremont isn't a bad pick. The best way for people to think of Pat Fremont is think of like a slightly not as good Kyle Pitts that can also block very well. If that's a good way to think of Freiermuth, that's a good way to think of him. He's a very good pass catcher, very good at that, but he's also a very good run blocker. He's above average in everything. Brevin Jordan, though, Tommy Tremble are guys I like later. Wyatt Davis is still there. Humphrey's still there. So what do you guys think? Do you want to? Okay, so I'm pretty much with you guys. I'm with you guys 100%. I mean, what's the old saying? You know, you don't want to tempt fate. Like, we got one trade. We did it already. We cleaned up a little bit. We might be getting greedy. Like, that might be what Baltimore is thinking, because I'm trying to think, you know, their center, I'm pretty sure, is Matt Skura. And I believe Matt Skura was injured. So, yeah, they could be definitely trading up for Creed. So, you guys are with me. Creed Humphrey. I agree with you guys 100%. I'm not even going to hesitate. And we got Creed Humphrey at 26. So, okay, they wanted Gregory Rousseau, unless they wanted Creed and they took Rousseau in exchange. We'll never know. It's been one of life's many mysteries. So, at the 34th pick, I don't like it because, again, you're going back too far. You're getting a second, but it's next year. Let's see what the other one is. The other one's even bigger drop. It's 2 next year. I wouldn't trade back if I were you guys. I think there's a lot of talent on the board. So, again, if we look at guard, Davis is still there. Wyatt Davis is still on the board. Remember I was saying, people forget that in the beginning of this season, up to basically like end of November-ish, early December, it was Wyatt Davis and Vera Tucker. Like, they were synonymous, literally synonymous. No one was saying one was better than the other. Then after injury, Vera Tucker shut up, and Vera Tucker became this wholly unheralded guard. But don't forget the talent of Wyatt Davis. Just throwing that out. But on defense, see what you guys think. You guys definitely, Skura went to the Dolphins. That's why I wasn't too sure. Thanks, Vin. I was thinking about that. I was like, I think he left. I was thinking about it. Thank you. I couldn't 100% remember. I was pretty sure he left. Couldn't remember. But either way, they could use a center, definitely. So Donnie agrees, no trade. I want Davis or Dickinson. Vinny says Wyatt for sure. Just to, look at the defensive board just to see who's available. Jalen Phillips and Carlos Basham, you can make excellent arguments for the two of them. But as you guys know, we've talked about it, Carl Lawson, massively underappreciated. Vinny Curry, also underappreciated. 10 QB hits last year, would have been top of the team for the Jets. And Huff is up and developing. I think we need to go edge that high, depending how bad the line is. At linebacker, okay, Jabril Cox is there. Jabril Cox could be an interesting pick if you want to go for that 4-3 outside linebacker. But you guys know I like Nick Bolton, and I think we can get Nick Bolton at 66, or even a guy like Chaz Surratt. So I'll just use quick at corner. Eric Stokes will be available. So he'll be available with the next pick. So it seems like I'm with you guys, 100% Bam, back-to-back linemen with it. Let's build through the damn trenches. Let's make this force something to reckon with. Let's make sure that Zach Wilson has men to protect him and men to keep him upright. I love it. And now, again, we have Mekhi Becton last year. We now got Creed and Wyatt this year. Those are 3 young linemen for Zach to grow with. All 3 should be in our future plans for a long time. So that would be an outstanding line, guys. Outstanding line. Now, it's interesting who we're seeing going off the board. Asante Samuel Jr. already went off the board. So did Cox. Jalen Mayfield, that's a sleeper at my tackle position. But we're coming up soon. We're up at 66. So let's see who we got. So at 66, we got some trades. Again, I don't like dropping as far because, again, at 66, that's pretty decently high still. We're going back another 30-something picks, and we're getting a 3rd and 4th next year, but we're giving 154. Not the greatest. This one's not as great either. Up to you guys, again, if you like them, just to show you again. So it's 66 to 91. You're getting picks next year, which is good, but I feel like it's too much of a drop. That's my opinion. What do you guys think? My opinion is too much of a drop with these two. Yeah, it seems like I agree. I think that would be the consensus. So let's take a look here. Okay, so we've taken our quarterback of the future, our center, and our guard. So Now would be a good option. Let's see, cornerback is obviously the next biggest deficit. As we know, next to the offensive line after free agency, corner is easily the weakest link. So too many people, and I don't get it, too many people are sleeping on Tyson Campbell. I don't understand that. If you look at Georgia for the longest time, Tyson Campbell was considered the better corner. In fact, he was more their corner one more often than Stokes was. Tyson Campbell is considered the better corner overall. But because Stokes lately, the 4.25 40, the almost 40-inch vertical, which is like something a 6'5" guy jumps. Like he broke it. So Stokes has moved his way up the board. It's caused Campson to fall, but Tyson Campbell is a CB1. Tyson Campbell will be CB1 day one. This kid is an outstanding corner. Elijah Molden is an excellent option as well, but I don't get how Tyson Campbell's still on the board. That makes no sense to me. So Donnie asks who's available at edge. Let's take a look. Ronnie Perkins isn't a bad pick. I'm not sold on him as much as a lot of others. I mean, mainly just because of how high he is. I think I put him around the same as Patrick Jones, in my opinion. So I just think, up at 52 is a little high for me. So you got Ronnie Perkins here. Patrick Jones is here. He's rated ridiculously low. Don't use PFN for this. For some reason, PFN has Patrick Jones ranked very incorrectly. He should be more around like between these two guys. That would be a good place to probably put Patrick Jones. So Vin says, I will go CB. I don't care who. And I'm with you, Vin. Like, I mean, that's the biggest thing. Joe Douglas, again, underappreciated free agency. He went out and signed a lot of quality guys. He put together a team that has depth and has quality at wide receiver now, at running back decently, at especially on the defensive line, but cornerback is the biggest need. After free agency, he's done a lot, but offensive line and cornerback. So my guy is Campbell. I'll let you guys vote. So again, when you think of Tyson Campbell, he was a better corner than Eric Stokes for his majority of time at Georgia. I know for 20 and 19, the last 2 years, he was their CB1. I think he was in 2018 too. Don't quote me on 2018, but I know the last 2 years he was. Again, Stokes has shot up boards, but Tyson Campbell is a legit CB1. He will be CB1 day one. So that would be the one I would go with. You guys are, corner here. So again, check him out if you don't know much about him. It's crazy. He was legitimately considered a first-round talent, maybe a second round. And because of Stokes, Campbell is like legitimately fallen. So that's a CB1. Tyson Campbell and Bryce Hall are going to make an insane combo. So we just made cornerback infinitely better. Because as you guys know, Bless Austin is a question mark. He was quality, pretty good in his rookie season, struggled in his second, because in his second season, he played more zone. In his first season, he was more of a man coverage guy, but in his second season, he played zone and struggled. Well, in this new system, it's very zone-based. So that's a little bit of a problem. Bryce Hall, on the other hand, which is a wonderful thing about him, he excelled in zone at college. People questioned his man coverage skills, and he delivered last year. Last year, he was excellent in man coverage. So Bryce Hall should succeed and then some in this system. But Tyson Campbell is the best way to think about it is Eric Stokes was excellent in man coverage. Campbell's good at everything. Tyson Campbell is across the board a CB1 in every category. Okay, so we've taken our 2 offensive linemen, our quarter, and a cornerback. If you guys wanted to go corner again, Paulson Adebo isn't the worst pick. Let's go by all. Let's see. Okay, so this is interesting. How much do you guys want to fix the offensive line? So as you guys have probably heard of Quinton Menertz, Quinton Menertz has really flown up boards. This kid is underappreciated, undersold. He's tough. He's everything Joe Douglas likes in offensive lineman. He's just like Creed Humphrey. He's a tough guy. He's a mauler. He's a finisher. Just throwing it out, if you want to like really boost that offensive line, you could take him. Just throwing that out there. So Quinton Menertz is an option. Dwayne Eskridge, if you want to go offense and get some weapons, Dwayne Eskridge is an excellent option. Love this kid at this pick. Best way to think of Eskridge is like a T.Y. Hilton. He's small and very, very quick and athletic and excellent catch radius and always catches the ball, but he's strong enough to create separation on the outside. So he could be an outside receiver as well. So when you think of Dwayne Eskridge, think of T.Y. Hilton, which is why I kind of like him over a lot of other smaller guys, because he's on the little side. He can play the slot, but he's very physical. He can play outside like T.Y. Hilton. So he's a good option here, Dwayne Eskridge. At tight end, Okay, so I don't know about you guys. I'm thinking right now Brevin Jordan might be the best pick because right now we have Corey Davis and Denzel Mims and Keelan Cole as our 3 top wide receivers and Jamison Crowder in the slot. That's pretty damn solid. Chris Herndon has been a red flag. Well, not a red flag, but a question mark. My apology. Chris Herndon has been a major question mark. He was good his rookie season, was hurt the next year, and didn't do anything last year. People say it was a product of the system, but Zach could really use a tight end 1 at this spot. So, Donna, you mentioned, tight end, like we were just talking about Tremble's there. Tremble's there, but wait, actually, no, Tremble's gone. Oh, I'm sorry. Tremble's gone. I figured, let's see. Tremble must have went. Tremble just went. So Tommy Tremble's gone. But here's the thing, though. Tommy Tremble, as you know, Donnie, you're a big Tommy Tremble fan. Tremble's an outstanding blocker. Outstanding blocker. But as people need, he hasn't had the most receiving options. That's what I like about Brevin Jordan. Brevin Jordan is a wide receiver, basically. A catching tight end. Brevin Jordan would be an excellent option there. So I'm thinking either. Okay, Gary makes a good point. Thank you, Gary. My apologies. Thank you, Gary. I forgot about linebacker. You made an excellent point because linebacker's a question mark. Now, Nick Bolton, unfortunately, isn't on the board anymore. He went at 72. So Bolton went 72, Tremble 74. Nick Bolton's a good guy I like, but if you want to go for another 4-3 outside linebacker, Chaz Surratt is an excellent option here. And also, if you want to wait till the next round or later, there's sleepers like Charles Snowden is a bit of a sleeper and could be an excellent option later. So Snowden could be a good sleeper option later, or Chaz Surratt would be a good option now. So if I were you guys, I agree here. I would say linebacker, big need, either Chaz Surratt, or even though wide receiver Dwayne Eskridge is good, I feel like we're good at wide receiver, I would go either with Brevin Jordan. So if I were you guys, I would go with either Brevin Jordan or I would go with Chaz Surratt. What do you guys think? Vin's like, Sir, Chaz is nice. And Chaz would be nice because outside linebacker is one of our biggest weaknesses. When we switched to the 4-3, we realized, hey, our defensive line is pretty stacked. Quinnen Williams, excellent in the middle, eats on the interior. So does John Franklin Myers. And now they added Sheldon Rankins. All 3 guys that can eat in the middle. And for edge rushers, Franklin Myers could go on the edge. You got Carl Lawson. You guys know about Carl Lawson. I've told you everything you need to know. The kid's amazing. And you got Vin Curry, veteran Vin Curry, who had 10 QB hits last year. That's pretty high for a guy of his age. So, okay, it seems pretty split. So you guys, Donnie says Jordan, Vinny says Chaz. Interesting, it is a split. It's a tough decision here. So let's look at where they're ranked for a second. Again, rank doesn't always mean anything, so I want to throw that out. Rank sometimes usually means absolutely nothing. But for the sake of the mock, Jordan, because we do remember have the 107th pick. So Jordan is ranked at 90 and Surratt is ranked at 106. Okay, so I'm thinking, again, because we do have, we just got 2 great offensive linemen to build that line. We took Zach Wilson. We took our quarterback of the future. Let's go with Brevin Jordan here, and let's cross our fingers and pray that Chaz is available with the next pick. So, Vin, I hope I didn't let you down, my man. I hope I didn't betray you here. Let's take a look and see if – oh, wait, I'm sorry. I missed the 89th. Don't mind me, guys. I totally – that's some funny stuff. So, I missed the 89th pick. So, perfect. So, and Vin, you mentioned it. Fadakasi, Shepard. How beautiful is that? That's how we got to think about it, man. Fadakasi is one of the most up-and-coming stars on defensive lines. He eats in the middle. He's a run blocker. He's like the forgotten man on this new front 7. That's how stacked we are. I'm telling you, man, Quinnen and Sheldon Rankins has the potential to live up to be like another Quinnen. Like, try to imagine 2 Quinnen Williams eating there in the middle. And then Lawson's going to light it up. I think, Huff can be that other edge rusher, or Curry could be, or Franklin Myers could be. So many options. But so we took our tight end. Let's do it. I don't even think we should trade. Well, we have one offer. We would go back 5 picks. So here's the thing. We would go back 5 picks right now. Chaz Surratt is technically ranked 106. And we'd pick up the 144th. So the question for you guys is, do we take Surratt now and not risk it, get that 4-3 outside linebacker? Or do we drop back 5 picks and get the 144th. What do you guys think? Okay, so again, guys, Chaz Surratt, I agree. That's a good option here. We do need to go with an outside linebacker, definitely without question. So what do you think? Do you want to trade back and go back 5 picks and hope Surratt's there and you get the 144th? Or do you just want to take Chaz now? Not risk it. Take Chaz at this moment. Okay, Bam says Chaz. I get it. I'm with you. I mean, we need that 4-3 outside linebacker. Let's just do it. Let's take him. Let's do it. So we need one desperately. We just got one. So the Jets now have another 4-3 outside linebacker. The hope is Gerard Davis is going to pan out. Remember, Gerard Davis was the 22nd overall pick back in 2015. He was the 22nd overall pick for a reason. I mean, I believe it was 2015, but he was the 22nd overall pick. The dude was very talented, very, very talented. So he has the potential to be really, really good. So if Gerard Davis lives up to the potential he could be, man, I mean, he's a beast. He's strong. He's really fast. Let's see if he can live up to it, man. This is a decent linebacker core right now. With C.J. Mosley being healthy, we got the new rookie Chaz Surratt on one side, Gerard Davis on the other. We got a good front seven now, guys. We built that front seven pretty nicely. So we have one trade offer. It's not bad. It's definitely not bad. We drop back 11 picks, but we pick up the 159th. That's not bad at all. And see, here's the thing. Once you get to about 107, 108-ish, you're getting to the point where everything from here on is not the guys everyone knows about. This isn't the first round, second round guys that everyone's heard of. These are the guys the GMs make their money on. These are the guys that they scout themselves, send guys to, out to check this out, out to colleges. They learn about these guys. They scout them. They find them. So a guy like Joe Douglas, who I believe is an excellent drafter. Many have, I've been saying it for a long time. A lot of people are saying it now. He's proven, I think, with his first draft. I love giving him more ammo, especially in the later rounds. Once we get to this point, now is always a good time to trade back. So I don't know what you guys think. Again, we are dropping 11 picks. So we're definitely dropping 11, but we're gaining the 159th. So we're getting another pick. So again, like I was saying, guys, remember the best way to think about it is once you get to the 4th or even, the 5th, the 6th, especially 5th and 6th, trading back once or twice is great because there's so much potential talent there. So, okay, so definitely, Donnie, let's see what's available, which is definitely, yeah. So let's go to the top. Okay, Dylan Moses being available is interesting. We are pretty good at linebacker, but maybe Gerard Davis doesn't pan out. So let's just throw that out there. Maybe Gerard Davis, again, I'm hoping this doesn't happen, fingers crossed. But maybe Gerard Davis is a bust. So Dylan Moses could be another option at linebacker. He's, should be gone by now. Roach is available. I'm not that huge on Roach. Let's see. So we took a tight end at wide receiver. I'm a big fan of Marquez Stevenson. You can have him later. Huge fan of this kid. Huge fan. The kid has over 2,000 yards in the last couple of seasons. He's excellent. Sleeper offensive lineman. These guys can be at later, but some sleeper offensive linemen. Cole Van Lanen. Alaric Jackson. Let's see, we got a guard. Tommy Kramer's a sleeper lineman. Sadarius Hutchinson. Deontay Brown is available. I know a lot of people love Deontay Brown. I'm not the hugest fan of him just in this system. He's a mauler. He's a beast. But this system requires kickouts, and he's not the fastest. Deontay Brown is not a quick guy. I mean, don't get me wrong. When he gets there, he's going to put you into the earth, and you're going to feel it. But he's going to not get there as fast as you'd hope. So, okay, so Donnie says let's take edge here. I totally get that. So if we look at the edge rushers available, I would personally go Patrick Jones. I'm not the hugest fan of Quincy Roche. I feel like, he was a transfer. I didn't like his production. I feel like Patrick Jones has consistently played at a high level. This kid, remember, led all of the FBS in sacks earlier in the season. I really like Patrick Jones. I think he's criminally underrated. He's the perfect size for a 4'3" defensive end, about 260. He will eat so much next to Lawson, man. Two of them are going to eat it. Hey, what's up, my man? Shout out to Kevin. Just popped in. Appreciate you. So you guys want to go edge. It seems you guys like Roche. So again, you guys make the pick. So if you guys want to go Roche, I'm cool with that. Just throwing out again my 2 cents. I feel like in his limited time in Miami, I wasn't that impressed. I mean, he's not bad. He's not a bad pick at all. But I guess I just really like Donnie. I'm kind of like Donnie here. I've just watched Jones play, man. And the best way to think of Jones is I started loving watching the Pitt Panthers defense because watching Jones and Weaver, it was just like every snap, it was like tackle collapse, just tackle collapse. Like every time Weaver and Jones just push the tackles back into each other. It's amazing and fun to watch these two. But after watching them more, I noticed Jones has some moves. The kid's got some swims. The kid's got a couple of spins, some shifty steps. He's the perfect size for, again, a 4-3 defensive end, and he's very strong at the point of attack. Like Bam Bam points out too. Excellent in stand-up, excellent in the 4-point. Again, you can shift him around. That's the point. Excellent point. He's versatile. He's very athletic. Again, what I love about him is his strength. He's a very excellent bull rusher, but he's got a decent pass rush tree that, again, Weaver and him just constantly bullying everybody. He's got a decent rush tree. His can get better. So I really like Jones here. For both you guys, it seems like Roche or Jones. You know what? Vinny wants to go Roche as well. Let's go Roche. We're going to mix it up. So we'll go Roche instead. So we took Quincy Roche. And again, Patrick Jones is criminally underrated in this mock. There's a chance he's there with our next pick. So we'll see if he goes. Let's watch. Oh, no, there he goes. Patrick Jones just went to the Vikings, and he's going to probably have a hell of a career. Okay, so we're ticking through. And remember, we picked up some picks. We picked up a couple. We got at least, I believe, 1 extra pick. So that's exciting. Always later picks, the more picks, better chances of hitting. I showed you guys, if you want it, I can go through. There's so much deep talent in this draft. So much deep talent in this draft. Okay, so we're up 146. Okay, so we only have taken 1 corner so far, and corner's a massive weakness for us. So because we've only taken 1 corner, I'm really thinking we should go in a cornerback here. So I really like Rodarius Williams. I'm a big fan of him. The guy's prototypical for the outside, 6'1", 194 pounds. He's a quite physical wide receiver, and he really excels in zone coverage. I've watched him, excellent eyes. Really good job at viewing the quarterback and keeping eyes on him, but I've also seen him with press coverage as well. I like Rodarius Williams. I think Rodarius Williams could definitely step in and contribute almost immediately. 2 other guys I really like would be Cameron Bynum or possibly Carrie Vincent. Now, Carrie Vincent's ranked really low, but he's not a bad pick here because, again, don't go with the draft. So I would think corner would be a good option to go here because we definitely are weak at corner. I would think, if you like somebody else here, but I would say either Carrie Vincent or Cameron Bynum, but really I would say Vincent or Rodarius Williams. My 2 choices would be Vincent or Williams. Okay, so Donnie asked for top available. Let's see. Aaron Banks wouldn't be a bad option. If you guys, again, wanted to go with another offensive lineman, Aaron Banks isn't a bad option. Anthony Schwartz at Auburn, that's not a bad option if you wanted to go with a wide receiver. But I was telling you guys, even though, Anthony, what's his name? Marquez Stevenson is gone. So Anthony Schwartz is still available. Sage Surratt is still here. So Sage Surratt is still available if you want to go wide receiver as well. So's Tamorian Terry and Jonathan Adams Jr. So those are some later round picks. Jonathan Adams Jr., criminally underrated. This kid, massively physical. He's a big-bodied wide receiver that uses his body. I've literally seen him stop in the middle of a route and just turn around, catch the ball when the cornerback runs into the back of him. I watched a little bit of him, and I instantly almost fell in love with what he did. He's very talented. Can Wade fit on this new system? He definitely could. So Sean Wade's an interesting. Sean Wade could probably be more of like a free safety, I would imagine. But we did just get LaMarcus Joyner. So again, just keep that in mind. We did get LaMarcus Joyner. When he played free safety, he was stand-up. But again, that's not a bad pick. So we could go Wade here. That's another one. Okay, so I've given you guys a couple of options. What do you guys think? Donnie says you love Schwartz. So again, yeah, that's another one I like too. So again, if you guys want to go wide receiver, I like Anthony Schwartz here. He would be a really good option. But again, also, so would Sage Surratt if you wanted to go with a wide receiver. And also, if you wanted a real big-bodied guy, Jonathan Adams Jr. is another option. Seeing who's... I like DeMonte Coxey, but it's too early to take him. I like TJ Vasher. Too early. Okay, so what do you guys think? Okay, so it seems like, yeah. So I do like Anthony Schwartz. I am a big fan of his. Again, like Bam says, the kid's lightning. The kid's very, very quick. So 2 for Schwartz. Let's do it. Easy option. Anthony Schwartz. Now we just got a wide receiver, baby. Now we just got another wide receiver to throw in that room with Mims, with Davis, with Cole, with Crowder, with Berrios, with Cager. Let's go. Okay, so next pick. If you wanted to go wide receiver again, it can't hurt to have more bodies, especially to see who jives with Zach Wilson the most. Sage Surratt's still available. So is Jonathan Adams. We went tight end already. I do like Nick Eubanks and Trey McKitty, but I don't know if I'd want to go tight end again. Cole Van Lanen is a very underappreciated offensive lineman, guys. He's been an offensive tackle at Wisconsin for a while. Prototypical, about 6'6", 6'7", 312 pounds. He's athletic. He's quick. He's got good technique. I honestly think Cole Van Lanen could push George Fant in training camp at right tackle. Definitely think that. So that's an option there. Tommy Kramer is a swing. Tommy Kramer is a beast that can play guard or tackle. If you wanted to go another offensive lineman. We took a 4-3 outside linebacker. Charles Snowden is still available. Okay. So we talked before about, not being sure what we have at linebacker. Linebacker is another big hole. We took another corner because that was a huge hole. Linebacker is a big hole. We don't know what we have in CJ Mosley. We have to keep that in mind. I'm hoping, praying we're getting the regular CJ back, but he's been out for 2 years now on the same injury. He sat out last year, but he has been out for 2 years. He's close to 30. It's a wild card. I'm hoping, again, he's great. We have Gerard Davis, but we don't know if he's going to pan out. That's why Joe Douglas gave him a flyer. Joe Douglas gave Gerard Davis a flyer because if he doesn't pan out, we cut him. He's basically like the Pierre Desir situation. If Gerard Davis doesn't work out, he's gone. So we took a linebacker earlier. We got Shea Surratt. I would probably recommend going with Snowden. So Bam says check the top board. I'm just giving you guys my 2 cents now. Charles Snowden is very underrated. I would definitely go him. Jalen Darden at this pick isn't bad value. Definitely not bad value at this pick. Divine Diablo, if you wanted to, I honestly think we're pretty good at safety with LaMarcus Joyner, with Marcus May, and with Ashton Davis. I think we're pretty good at safety, but Diablo is a hell of a player. Darius Williams still available. I would probably, again, if you want to go another corner, but we've taken 2 corners, I would go with Charles Snowden. One last thing I'll show you guys. Let's go with run. Okay, if you guys wanted to go with a running back, potentially, you want to add another running back to that, stable of running backs. A lot of people like Chuba Howard, but I like Kylan Hill more. I'm throwing that out. I like Kylan Hill a lot more. I think he's more of an all-around, every down back. I think he's got more potential. So I do like Kylan Hill. He would be a fantastic pick here, in my opinion. So, yeah, Bam says he heard of Snowden. Snowden is a bit of a raw prospect, but he's very good in coverage. His issue that people knock on Snowden is he's not great at interceptions. He's not going to get the ball. But you know what? He's pretty damn good in coverage. Mosley will get the ball. That's fine. So that's the biggest knock on Snowden. Oh, well, he doesn't have the best ball tracking skills, but he's very, very good in coverage, and he's quite fast and quite athletic. So point now, KSC, because you wanted the quick rundown. We got our 2 guys, man. We got Creed Humphrey and we got Wyatt Davis. So we're smoking at offensive line, man. We are set. The offensive line is built. The offensive line is eating. I'm with Bam a little bit. Kylan Hill would be an excellent pick here. Again, a lot of people like Chuba Hubbard, but I really like Kylan Hill. I think Kylan Hill is the more overall better back, especially for our system. He's a really good pass catching back. I think Kylan Hill would be an excellent option here. So up to you guys. We have 1 for Hill. I'm thinking either Hill or Snowden. Hill or Snowden would be excellent options here. So again, let's see our next pick. We have 154. 186. Snowden's ranked 159. And Hill, you know what? Don't worry about the rankings. Rankings, honestly, I'll be honest. Rankings aren't that bad. Don't worry about rankings. I'm talking about rankings. Rankings don't mean shit. Rankings don't mean anything. Because every team's got their board, but they know who they like. Rankings don't mean anything. You know what matters? A guy like Joe Douglas that was able to get a guy like Denzel Mims. Because forget rankings. He knows what the other teams are going to do, so he can trade back and still get a guy like Mims. That's what matters. And Douglas has that ability. He can look at a board and kind of think about and have an idea of how it's going to fall. So a lot of you guys like Hill, I'm with you. Kylan Hill, excellent back. Again, a lot of people are really high on Hubbard. This is an excellent option. So Kylan Hill could, no joke, he could easily be our starting running back next year. I mean, I love the combination of Ty Johnson, Josh Adams, and Tevin Coleman. I think the three of them will complement each other nicely, but Kylan Hill could easily win. In training camp, Kylan Hill could easily be the guy out of that backfield. Okay, so Rodarius Williams is still on the board. I jinxed it. You went to the Patriots. Oh, man, I double jinxed it. That's my bad, guys. That's my bad. I double jinxed that. Okay, not only did he go, he went to the Pats. They got Rodarius Williams. Man. Okay, so we're at 186 right now. If we go by best available, no one really jumps out to me, to be honest. I mean, Daz Newsome isn't a bad option, but I feel like we already kind of went wide receiver. I know one of you guys mentioned St. Justy a little while ago. St. Just would be a good option if you guys wanted to get another corner. So again, just to show you again the board, we got our Zach Wilson, our QB of the future, the franchise baby, the face of the franchise. We got our elite center and an elite guard. We got a CB1. Don't let, Tyson falling down the board fool you. That's a CB1. Tight end one, possibly. Surratt, Roche, Hill. This is our last pick. So because this is our last pick, I'm thinking we should go kicker. Now, I know you do like Juiced, and I get that. Definitely an interesting option, but this is our last pick. So would you guys want to go with another corner and build up the stable of corners? No. I like Juice too. Definitely, I agree, Bam Bam. St. Just, he's strong. He can be coached up. He's a good sleeper pick. He's definitely a good sleeper option. So the option would be either him or, you know what? You could probably get, it won't be Borregales and it won't be probably, I'll show you guys, probably it won't be Borregales. It won't be McPherson. You could probably get one of these guys as an undrafted free agent. Probably Patterson, Kessman, Norden, Nagar. You could probably get one of these guys as an undrafted guy. So what do you guys think? You want to go? So Donnie's saying kicker. It's an interesting debate right here. And this is the beauty of, debating draft picks. This is the beauty of it. So St. Just is a good option. He's a developmental guy, without question. He's totally developmental. But like Bam mentioned, he's a strong dude. He could be coached up. But now's also a decent time to take a kicker. Yeah, you make a good point, my man. That's interesting. How come last time I did a PFN, I had the 226? Ken just found a hole in this whole system. Ken just poked a hole in the whole thing. Last time I did a PFN mock, I had 226. Did we trade it away? We might have maybe traded it away. I think we might have traded it away when we made the trade before. So yeah, I'm kind of with Ben. You could probably get a kicker unrestricted free agency. But again, Borregales is, I'm a big fan of Borregales. I think the kid, I think the stat was within 40 yards. I think he's like almost perfect. Something like that. Within about that. Like within 40 yards, I think he's like missed one or two like ever. So I like Borregales a lot. And Donnie makes a good point. Yeah, when was our last good kicker? That's the thing. Like I pointed this out the other day, we haven't had a good kicker since Nick Folk. That was our last legitimate solid kicker. And guys, that was like a decade ago. That was like a decade ago. Since then, we've had makeshift kickers filling the void. And these last 2 years, we've had nobody filling the void. We've had guys walking off the street. Joe Douglas is going out in the street going, hey, do you have a leg? Can you kick it? That's what's going on. We got nobody. So it's an interesting situation. It seems to be kind of split right now. Anyone else want to chime in? So right now it seems Juiced isn't a bad option. St. Juiced is not a bad option here. But also, you're not going to get Borregales with the in unrestricted. That's not happening. You're not getting him. You're getting, like I was going to show you guys, probably Borregales and McPherson are going to go at some point. You could probably get like Patterson or Kessman or Norden or Nagar, Verity. All those guys you can get undrafted, potentially. Maybe bring 2 or 3 of them in and see what they got. It's Sergio Castillo. Man, Sergio Castillo, forget Sergio Castillo. What about Vedvik? Man, I have nightmares about Vedvik kicking the ball. When he came up, man, that thing was like, it was like a fire hose, man. That thing could go in any direction. I didn't know what was happening. Man, that kid scared me every time he stepped up to bat. So, Kes makes a good point. How about trading another pick? I'd love to, trade, but the thing, you can't trade players in these mocks, and there's nobody on the phone right now. We could propose a trade. If you guys want to, maybe we could try proposing a trade, potentially, but up to you guys. We could potentially try to propose a trade to somebody, but the real question here is, do we get the kicker? Do we get Borregales? Do we get the guy, like I said, that's like perfect almost from inside 40? Or do you go with a developmental corner? And again, St. Juiced, I feel like, I don't know why I'm blanking on his measurements for a second. I liked him. I feel like he was, yeah. Okay, I just want to remind myself, he's a pretty solid dude. St. Juiced on his pro day, where are we? St. Jude on his pro day measured at 6'3", 202 pounds. That's what I liked about him. He's a big, physical, solid guy, and he's not slow by, any way, shape, or form. So he's definitely an interesting developmental prospect. You guys got me torn now. Yeah, no, that's the point. You got it, Ken. 6'3". So that's the thing about St. Juiced. Again, that's why I'm not just going kicker. If it weren't St. Juiced right now, I would just take the kicker and forget about it. So he's a 6'3", 202-pound guy. He's not the fastest, but he has speed. He's decent in coverage. He's very raw, but the potential is there. So it seems like, you guys want to lock the kicker down. Vince brings up, don't get you started. So I'm thinking we'll go with the kicker. So, let's cross our fingers. Maybe St. Juiced is available undrafted. And again, Joe Douglas got lucky last year. My question, how the hell did we get Bryce Huff undrafted? You guys remember, if you guys check it out, I was tweeting about Bryce Huff when he was playing for Memphis. I loved this kid. I thought he was fantastic. I was like, he's going somewhere between the 5th and 7th round. We got to get him. We got him undrafted. Same thing with Guidry. We got Javelin Guidry, one of our potential future stars at slot cornerback, undrafted. So potentially, if we're lucky, St. Juiced goes undrafted. So we'll follow. Maybe St. Juiced goes undrafted. But I agree, we got to take that kicker. Let's get Borregales, lock it down. Let's see. Let's see what happens with St. Juiced. Ready? We'll hold our breath. Bynum's off the board. That's a corner. If St. Juiced doesn't go, theoretically, we can get him as an undrafted guy. So here we go. Let's hope we're getting. Oh, okay. No, yeah, the Raiders took him. The Raiders took St. Juiced because, again, like you guys pointed out, he's an interesting developmental prospect. He really, really is. He's very physical, big, strong, good size. Everything you want in an outside corner, just raw. He doesn't have like the speed of J.C. Horn, but he's still good. Hey, John popped in. What's up, my man? Shout out. Thank you for being here. We got a great draft. So check it out in a minute. We're going to go through it. It was pretty killer. We're going to go through all those picks. We're going to talk about it. Draft's just about done. Unfortunately, Zach, I think we traded the 226 because we moved up at some point. I believe we traded the 226 because we moved with the Cleveland Browns. We gave the 226, but we got like a 140 something in return. So we actually did pretty well. You'll see. You guys will see in this draft, we have an extra middle pick, and I'll show you. So we traded away 226, but it worked out in the long run. Okay, so we're just about at the end. We're approaching the finish line. She's a-coming. Slow and steady. Here we go. So the extra pick we got, you'll see right here, we have 146, 154. We got 89. See? So we went and we have 86 still, and we still have 107 and 146 and 154, but we got 89. That was the big trade. So before we traded, you guys remember that we're here. We traded with the Browns. We moved down 5 spots. We lost to 226, but we got the 89. And at the 89, we got Chaz Surratt, which is a damn good pick. So, and it recaps it right here. Oh, I forgot you can recap it. So we traded 226 and got 89. And they got Gerard Davis, and we still got Creed. So this is a pretty damn good draft, guys. We should be proud of ourselves if you want to pat yourselves on the back. We traded back. We still got Creed Humphrey. We got an extra middle pick at 89, and we got Chaz Surratt. So let's go through this. We got our quarterback of the future, my guy. You guys know I can't say enough about Zach Wilson. I also can't say enough about Creed Humphrey. So we got our quarterback of the future, our cerebral center. We have one of the best guards in the game. Remember, don't sleep on Davis. He's just as good as AVT when he's healthy. Tyson Campbell, falling down boards, doesn't make sense. Excellent cover corner at Georgia. This is CB1. Man, Tyson Campbell and Bryce Hall are going to be an excellent duo. We got our tight end one. I would be surprised if Brevin Jordan doesn't beat out Chris Herndon. I think Brevin Jordan would beat out Herndon potentially and be that tight end 1. But hell, if he's not, he's tight end 2 behind Jordan. We got Chaz Surratt. We got our 4-3 outside linebacker because we needed one bad. We got an edge rusher. We were debating between Patrick Jones and Roche. We got Roche. Anthony Schwartz, great pick here. You guys mentioned it. Top end speed, excellent pick. Kylan Hill, underappreciated running back, very underappreciated. He's a sleeper of mine in this draft, does everything well. He's shifty, he's fast, he hits pretty hard, and he's a decent pass catcher. Kylan Hill checks all the boxes. So Kylan Hill could easily be the starter when training camp is over. And we got our kicker. So this is a home run, guys. We freaking nailed it. Thank you, John. Appreciate it. This was a great draft, guys. We nailed it. We did awesome. Kudos to you guys. Again, pat on the back. This was an outstanding draft. Because again, think about it, just go through. We got QB future, center, guard, CB1, tight end 1, 4-3 outside linebacker, edge rusher, speedy wide receiver, gadget, do-it-all running back, excellent kicker. I love it. I absolutely love it. Ken's a little debatey there. You don't like Brevin. Well, what's nice about Brevin is he's a decent receiving option at tight end, which has been our problem. So I do like about Brevin in the receiving option of him because we need that. That's the biggest thing Herndon was lacking in. So awesome draft, guys. We nailed it. I love it. It was awesome. Had a lot of fun. Like always, I want to thank you guys for tuning into the Take Flight Spit and Fire podcast. We might do a mock again next Monday. I'll see. Otherwise, we might just, talk Jets, talk about something going on. Remember, this is big, guys. I'm loving this. I'm excited to be doing this with you guys now, bringing you this Jets podcast. As you guys know, I've always been with you on Twitter, giving you takes there. Excited to be doing this. I'm going to start doing, like special news podcasts when things like the Darnold trade happened. I'll do a special podcast, pop on, chat with you guys. I still have my regular one I'm going to do. I'm going to also start doing some film eval. I'm thinking, now that I'm able to get these extra screens going, show you guys some good stuff. So I'm really excited. Again, really excited about this. It's going to be every Monday. So Donnie asked a question. He says, if JD really likes a guy like Cosme at 21, could you see Fant moving to guard? I don't get the unpopularity with this. I really don't. Donnie, I can 100% see George Fant moving to guard. And I see a lot of people saying, that doesn't make sense. Why not? In this system, you want athletic guards that can pull well and block their assignment strong. Why is that not George Fant? George Fant hasn't really played guard, I don't think, at all, or if that much, but I think he could do it. I definitely think that's an option. But interestingly enough, if you want to go with a tackle, I don't go Samuel Cosme. I go Jalen Mayfield. Just throwing that out. If you go offensive tackle high, I like Jalen Mayfield because back in 2019, there was only one offensive tackle that held their own with Chase Young. And that's was Jalen Mayfield. Check him out. I like him a lot. So if we were going to go tackle, that would be my guy. And Ken points out, Jenkins to replace Becton, Fant when they become injured. That's always, the benefit of depth, which I do feel like we have right now. That's why, guys like, the recent guys we just brought in, like Corey Levin and stuff like that, they're not sexy picks, but they're depth. So obviously guys like him and Greg Van Roten and Alex Lewis will battle it out for reserve spots. That's what it's going to be. That's what I want, because none of them deserve to be starting. So Alex Lewis, Connor McDermott, Greg Van Roten, Corey Levin, they should all be battling it out for the reserve spots, battling it out for backup guard and backup center, maybe backup tackle. But we got that offensive line, guys. We got Creed Humphrey. He's that cerebral center. He's going to grow with Zach Wilson, be that Nick Mangold, study plays with him. You move McGovern to guard, which is going to be a much better assignment for McGovern because he's an excellent run blocker, decent mauler, struggles in pass protection, but now he's got Creed to pick up the slack. You guys remember, I'm not going to go too much into it, but people were saying, oh, the guard play was bad last year. Do you think there was ever bad guard play when Nick Mangold was playing center? You think Nick Mangold allowed that shit to happen? Granted, he had good guards around him, but man, he would have ripped somebody apart on that sideline if that happened. So now he's got Creed in the center to help him. So Connor McGovern will be a better guard. Don't sleep on Cameron Clark, guys. Cameron Clark is a beast. He fits the Joe Douglas mold. Same reasons I like Creed Douglas. Same reasons I like Wyatt Davis. Same reasons I like guys like Tommy Kramer. You remember Mekhi Becton was my guy. Me and Joe Douglas, we see these linemen the same, man. We like athletic, quick guys, but maulers. We like finishers. If you watch Cameron Clark playing college, man, this dude plays nasty. Yeah, Bible points out there was times, the guard play wasn't always bad because Nick Mangold kind of got lucky at times. I mean, well, again, not lucky. He's an outstanding player. When I say lucky, I mean, he had good guards with him. Like, he had Faneca at some points, Cologne. We can go through everybody. Moore. He had good guards without question at many points. But do you think he really let that slide, man? Nick Mangold ran that offensive line. Not only was he calling everything out, I remember him walking over to guards and shifting their assignments. I remember him walking over to left guard and tapping him in the hip and saying, you got to adjust to this, or this guy's coming from here because of this shift. That's going to be Creed. So I'm excited about that. Ken points out if we lose that on Creed, I don't even want to think about it. I'm telling you guys, I've seen some mocks where he actually goes before 23. It's rare. It's rare, but I've seen it. I'm hoping it doesn't happen. Okay, so Ken, let me scroll you up. So here we got the first half of the draft. What we did was we traded back. We traded back with the Browns. We traded back just 3 picks. And that's when we got the 89. So that was a fantastic trade. We traded back 3 picks. We still got Creed Humphrey, still Wyatt Davis, and now we also got Chaz Surratt. We wouldn't have been able to get Chaz Surratt otherwise. So, but yes, again, guys, I appreciate every single one of you. Always appreciate you taking your time out of your Monday to be here. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you had a great time. Hope you enjoyed the mock. Again, like I was saying, I'll be doing other stuff as well. I'll keep you guys up to date, but we're always here, no matter what we're doing, whether it's a mock or film eval, or just talking Jets, or just shooting the breeze, whatever we're doing. We're going to be here Monday at 7 p.m. on YouTube all the time. Ken says no wide receiver. No, we got wide receiver, brother. We got wide receiver right here. His name is Anthony Schwartz. Man, check that kid out. Anthony Schwartz is a solid guy that can move. He's fast. He's got good hands. He's very, very good. He's been an excellent wide receiver at Auburn for the last couple of years. So he's definitely a good option, especially with the later rounds, especially because we missed out on guys like Marquez Stevenson and missed out on guys like Dwayne Eskridge. Because we missed out on them, he's definitely a good pick. Yeah, Ken, I'm with you. We need this draft. Like Donnie said, appreciate you, Donnie. Had fun. See you next week, brother. Appreciate you being here. But like Ken said, we need this draft already. It's coming, man. And I trust Joe. I do. Think about what he's done. Last year, he went out and got the first round offensive lineman that we've taken since 2006. 2006. That's not how you build a team. John Itzik and Mike McCagnon screwed us with the most incompetent general managing the world has ever seen. Basically, thankfully, we have a guy that gets it. Think about it. We haven't had an elite edge rusher since John Abraham. What does Douglas do? He goes out and gets us Carl Lawson. We needed a left tackle, a stud blindside guy, our DeBrickashaw Ferguson. He got us our Mekhi Becton, my guy, the guy I love. That's why I'm saying we got to get Creed this draft. We got to get Davis, build that offensive line. We got some corners. Don't sleep on Tyson Campbell. That guy's probably going to be a CB1 on day one. But this is exciting, guys. So again, I love it. I appreciate it. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate you all tuning in. And I will see you guys next Monday for, again, the Take Flight Spit and Fire podcast. Thank you for tuning in.